Thank you for being a part of our What You Should Know series. Today we are going to talk about debt. Do you know what debt is? Surely all of us have owed somebody some money at one point in time. If you're a child, you probably still owe your parents money, right? Well, you have this basic concept of debt. Debt is the amount of money that you owe. Now, I want you to think a little deeper about it though. In the world of commercial real estate, debt is a very important component of a transaction in general. Because the way you use debt can really make the value of that asset really grow, make the value of your investment grow, or it could be detrimental to your project. So it's so important to understand the concept of debt and what it really represents. So if you think about a building, let's say that building cost $1 million, and you're going to buy that building, and the bank's going to loan you 75% loan to value on that building. So how much will the bank loan you? That would be $750,000, 75% loan to value. So how much debt would you have on that building? It would be $750,000. And then the remainder of that would be your equity in that transaction. So the debt is the portion of the property that's owned by the lender. But the equity is the portion that's owned by you. Now, what's interesting about debt, and this teaches us a bit about leverage, which we're going to go into great detail later on this subject. You notice that when you have debt on the property, who owns that property? You might be surprised with that question, but the answer is pretty obvious. The person who owns that property is the lender. Now, if you don't believe they own that property, stop making payments. They'll show you very quickly they own the property, right? But who controls the property? Usually the person who has the equity in that property, or the borrower. The borrower has the control. Now, there's a difference between having control over something and owning something. Now, let's just imagine that you have a teenager and you go out and you purchase a car in your name for your teenager. Who owns that car? You do. But you give that control over that car to your teenager. They can decide to get in the car, drive to wherever they want to drive with your permission, perhaps, do what they want to do. Who has control over the vehicle? They do. So in a sense, who really gets the benefit of that vehicle? Well, your teenager does, because they don't own it, but they control it. In the world of commercial real estate, did you know it's better to control something than it is to own it? Just think about it. If I controlled an apartment building and I have tenants paying me rent, and that rent is coming to me, and all I have to do to maintain control over that property is to make monthly debt payments to the lender, who benefits more? I get all of the rent, and the lender gets a small portion of that rental income. I have control, they have ownership. Knowing about debt and knowing how it fits inside of an investment strategy is extremely important. In fact, it's what you should know.